Yo, welcome everybody. This is gonna be my YouTube video on like Kled items, like little like
I
guide
grew
to
up mean,
explain
now I'm older than
why
murder.
you build each item and when do you build which items, right? And then just a combo of like, just going through regular builds and stuff like that. So we're just gonna get right into it, right? I think first off, I want to show you guys like what's the default. I want to go through like the default stuff, right? So here we have like Ravenous, right? Generally speaking, Kled builds Ravenous.
Ain't nothing more
You don't
beautiful than
really
the Noxian Plains,
you have other options too,
except for the
right? But this
rich
is your
corpse.
like most general item to build on Kled right now because um Ravenous gives a lot of AD, which Kled really likes, as you know, because well, if you don't know, right, if you haven't realized, all your abilities scale off bonus 80, every single one. Like everything you have in your kit scales off bonus 80. So Ravenous giving 65 plus 20 80 when fully stacked gives you 85, which is a lot. The most 80 you can get out of an item here. Really good. Next up, you really just like this is the default build, right? So you just pick up Eclipse after, and these are like your
We find
go-to
'em,
spike
tie 'em up,
items
then they's like a pinata full of meat.
that you'll be going around with just doing in most games. Now, afterwards, right? After these two items, right? Now you have some. I know it's weird to get more like situational, right? Because you're wondering like, what do you build next? So oftentimes, right? Let me just build boots too, just to make it look proper. Like oftentimes, bro, you really be building like Black Cleaver, you know? So Black Cleaver gives a lot of health, a lot of abilities, right? It's a decent amount of AD, but the key thing about it is that it gives like armor 10, right? So it lowers the enemy's armor, whoever you're hitting. So you will do more damage to them, once you start lowering their armor, right? And your teammates. A key thing about Black Cleaver that makes your teammates do more damage as well. So pretty good. Like if you have like a full AD team or you have two other AD sources on your team, bro, and they're not really building Black Cleaver, like Black Cleaver looks very like, you know, attractive to build in those types of games. Because it's not letting only you do more damage, letting, your entire team basically do more damage. Cool. Now, so afterwards, right, you have
Weird.
other items you can go, or instead of Black Cleaver, right, instead of Black Cleaver, you could do, let's say, it's a game where you don't really need armor pen, right? Um, let's say it's a game where they're like a lot of AD on their team, but they're not like tanky, they're not really tanky, and you can afford to just like continue to just build like other items. So the two armor items that you really can go is like Death Stance or GA. Death Stance or GA, right? So Death Stance is good for like team fighting. So when you're team fighting, Death Stance provides like the little bleed, right? It says defy there when a champion that you damage within last 3 seconds dies, cleanse ignores pain remaining damage pool and heal like, heal a little bit over 2 seconds. Scales the bonus 82. So if you're building damage, you know, it does its thing. It's obviously way nerfed than what it was in the past, but um it's still decent when it's a good angle for it. I know the death science angles, right? Or like the best spots for death science is like, okay, they have a lot of 80 damage, right? But you also look at your team. So if your team has like, like enchanters like Sona, Karma, Baraka, Milio, new champion, right? Like you have those enchanters which it's very good to have death sounds because Once they shield or heal you, it's like out your stalling out the damage you take. So you become significantly more tanky, basically, or durable in team fights once you have this. Imagine you have the bleed going on you, bro, and then you just get a shield or heal. You know, you're living longer, and then you have more time to get that kill or takedown, and then you can cleanse all the damage that you were taking. So yeah, 30% you're cleansing there and heal too, so it's really good. The other item though is GA. So like GA is more like, let's say, you know, let's say you're getting a hard focus. You don't really have an enchanter, but you're gonna probably like you die really quickly, right? The GA has two things about it, right? That is kind of key here. Is that are pretty good. Is that it has stopwatch. So once you get stopwatch, bro, you're able to like just use this in a fight. Like if you know you're gonna get like bursted by a spell, you can just go in and then just press this and be able to solo the team fight. Buy a lot of time for your teammates to come in and do their stuff. So it feels good to like have that when you're going against like champions with clear abilities that are gonna burst you. For example, right, let's say Syndra R, you know, that does a lot of damage, right? You see that coming towards you, you press stopwatch, deny that. Or even like right now meta champions like Kaiser W does a lot. So with the AP Kaiser
Squirrel,
stuff.
this ain't no time for
So
philosophizing.
you see the Kaiser is going to W right in the middle of the team fight when you jump in. You just pop this, or you're gonna get CC'd. Anything, bro. You know, you guys know stopwatch, right? I don't really have to say much more about that. Next up is GA. So GA offers the same thing. It's buying a lot of time for your team to like do stuff. So it's like you're diving in, right? So you want them to focus you, and then like if they do, you still have your GA. So they're like they won't really want to like try to focus you in that sense. Like you know what I'm saying? Like they don't want to like spend too much time on somebody that isn't going to die because they have GA. Obviously they still should hit you, of course, but like just imagine it from like
No!
if you're facing
Plan ahead
somebody.
strategy, but that's city folks' thing.
Imagine you're facing somebody, right, that's diving into you that GA. It feels like it's like hitting them feels like a waste of time, you know, if you can't like just burst them quickly. But again, right, this item is good for heavy diving, like you're diving into the enemy team and you're just trying to buy time for your team to like get stuff done. And also if you feel like if you're dying a lot and you just need that little extra time to buy for your team to like do some more damage, you have like a hyper carrier, so it's really good to have G. Like when you look at like you have a good carries in the background. Let's see you have Azir, maybe Kog'Maw, Twitch, like G is just really good there. Cause you're just buying time for them to get their DPS off. Also another item
I
that
can
does give
hallucinate when you
armor,
can
which is
talk.
Hullbreaker, but
Nah, I'm sure it'll
yeah, we'll
pass.
get into that afterwards, right? I think I want to talk about think we're gonna talk about the armor pen items, these two. So we got Grudge and Mortal Reminder. A lot of people do build Mortal Reminder. It's even recommended now, right? So it's pretty nice. They give basically the similar stats, right? Well, this gives well they both give the 30% armor pen, but this does give 5 more 80. Does cost 200 gold more though. Spending 200 gold for 580. And but this does give ability haste and a slow. Right, the grudge. So that's grudge. Mortal reminder provides crit chance and furious ones. So both items are pretty good. You can build both items as in like based on the
Turret
situation, right?
plating will soon fall.
So to explain though, like when or where each one kind of shines. So first off, grudge has the
Killing a
slow
few
on it,
things might
right?
loosen us up.
Which is pretty good to like. slow targets, so it's easier time hitting your spells or just getting off DPS. CDR is really nice. It allows you to like cycle your abilities a lot more in team fights, so it's like really good. Or even 1v1s too, right? Mortal Reminder is good for when like really and truly, it's really good for the grievous wounds because you're just getting 40% grievous wounds off the bat. I mean, even if you build this right, you're still getting grievous wound 40%, so it's pretty nice. And the crit is also pretty good. So typically I would build Mortal Reminder instead of Grudge when I'm like let's say the grievous like instant grievous wounds is like good, you know. Trying to give see if I can find an example of this. Um, uh, just one out there. I recently faced a Trundle, right? I did build this against him. Like Trundle is gonna ult you, right? Like if it's a split push type Trundle, they're gonna ult you from like quite early, and Mortal Reminder just provides that grievous wounds straight up. So you're able to like
What are you whining about?
you're able
I already
to
fed you half a platoon.
just deny the healing straight up. And also the crit is very nice for like those fights, those 1v1s, because you're just getting like a nice boost of damage straight up. Like, well, not so straight up, but like, you RNG 20% is 1 out of 5 chance of critting. You're doing a lot of auto attacks with your W. You can get a couple crits. And even when I was fighting at Trundle, I think I got like 2 crits. So yeah. But I really like this item if you really want the grievous ones. That's what you should be looking at. Like instant grievous ones. Because remember, Kled Q does have grievous ones and it does last 5 seconds. So, and in late game, right, you can have enough CDR where Q is like 5 seconds. So but it does take a time for it to poke the enemy, which is 1.75 seconds. So you want to you want to sometimes you just want to like get the grievous ones right away based off who you're playing against, right? Cool. An example of how Grudge is good with the slow is you're
I don't have
against
trouble communicating.
you're
Words is
against
just treacherous bastards.
let's say GP for example. I know GP heals, right? But imagine you're trying to just split push and trying to one shot the GP inside lane. Grudge is good. Slow is nice. The GP is like, he's fast as he's very fast, right? So you just
I
want to
have
like
deep-fried courage and an
make sure
apple
he doesn't get
pie
away.
of angry.
Okay, next up is and like in team fights, right, with ADCs, squishy ADCs, you can get the grudge off onto them with like with your E, with like if you hit the E, right, you're getting a slow. Very easy to follow up when you hit the Q. Or even if you're ulting in, it will just hit whoever and slow them, so it just makes things easier to like, follow up, whether it's you or your teammates. Okay, so yeah, those are like the typical items here. You have other items too here, like Maw. Maw is good. If they have magic damage and you want that shield, which is good to deny burst, right? They didn't nerf it in terms of like the shield duration from 5 seconds to 2.5. Cut that. They cut that in half. But the gold cost did go down, so that does feel good, like by 100 gold. So it's very good against like heavy AP team comps. Like if they have like 4 APs, let's say they're 80 ADCs like they're only 80 champ, really good to buy. Or even if against an AP top laner, bro, it's really good to get. Well, it depends on who you're playing against, right? But oftentimes it's a lot of times it's actually just really good to just go Maw
Yeah,
because it's
they
it's
just
really good.
confirming
Like
our
it's trust me.
suspicions, ain't they?
Um, if you guys have seen some of my videos on where I talked about Maw Rush, or I did do like a Maw Rush versus like Gwen and Warwick. Like you see, like normally you're not winning those matchups, right? Warwick you can win sometimes, but it's really difficult because like he has so many things that is countering you. Like the fact that he has high attack speed and all of that when you're dismounted, right? Makes it hard to remount. Once you have model, you're guaranteed to remount like every time. Like you can watch those videos again to work. I once I get this item, I never die to him solo. Or even just like even just a extra good part two is really nice. And Gwen, right? Like Gwen really like her passive shreds HP, right? So very good to just go more against her. Really allows you to play the game. Trust me. Okay. Now get into the rest of the bruiser items here. Yeah, we don't build chainsword because he can go mortal reminder. Um, spear. I
Just
know
'cause
some
they're
people have
our
talked
team,
about spear
don't mean
before.
we can
It's
trust them.
not very good on Kled because if you do notice that your W doesn't go on cooldown, sorry, I mean yeah, your W doesn't go on cooldown until like um you use up all of it. Now that doesn't really matter, you know what I'm saying? But like in terms of like the old spear, and the old spear obviously really made a difference, but like with the new one, um, yeah, the real reason why spear isn't very good on Clyde is because you don't really have a space for it. Because you see, after you go your two core items, right, Ravenous, Eclipse, you're like, oh, what do I get now? So I'm probably gonna need armor. Right, cool. I'm gonna need armor. Okay, let's say I need magic resist. Okay, cool. And oh, I need armor pen. Oh, I forgot. So you're gonna go like cleaver, or you're gonna go like this, or you're gonna go like mortal reminder. Yeah. So it's like when do you build? Where do you get to build spirit? So yeah, you don't really build this. Um, yeah, you're not Jax, where a lot of CDR means that your E is up
They're all
more often and
trespassers.
you're
We're just
more
killing them
defensive
fine
options
first.
based off that. Now think we got into most of about this build. You have other builds though, like in terms of like not really much difference though. You do have other builds out there, like for example you have the Stride Breaker. So I do recommend going Stride Breaker against like range champions. Like let's say against Kennen, for example, right? And you do like Merc Treads and you go like Stride Breaker, you can slow him, easier to play the matchup. It's not gonna be insta window, but it's gonna be like a lot better than doing Ravenous. Or even if you're against like some random mage player coming top lane, or even an ADC in top lane, Strikebreaker is just good to go. No? And if it does look like, or even if you're playing mid lane Kled, right, and you see like you're against a certain type of mid laner that is like a control mage, and then you see like their jungler is I don't know, maybe Kindred, right? Or and they have an ADC with support being like Lulu or something,
Yeah,
right?
I like it out here. Freedom, communing with nature.
It
Killing
feels good to just go Stridebreaker. It's really good. Like trust me. Like you're getting 60 AD, right? Compared to Eclipse, or oops, compared to Eclipse, right? You're getting the same AD now because they did buff the AD on it, right? Does cost more though, like 200 gold more, but you're getting more ability haste, get attack speed, which isn't like a very good stat on Kled, but um you're still able to like utilize it against these like squishy champions because you're just doing a lot of auto attacks and you're slowing them so you can get auto attacks off, right? Because it's not like they're away from you and you're spacing out your auto attacks. You can actually get that going. Um okay. Um we're already like almost 20 minutes here or 19 minutes in, so I want to like get to the this other thing that I really want to show you guys. Okay, this graph or table, whatever. Okay, there is another bill out there though. Now I don't do this bill right, but it's basically I just want to show you guys it. Oh, before I get into it though, yes, Hullbreaker. We need to talk about Hullbreaker. So Hullbreaker is very good
Measure
as
me
like
right
a
over the
third
top.
item. So that you have Ravenous Eclipse, right? And you do like Hullbreaker. Feels really good to go this item when you want to like split push, right? So how Hullbreaker works is that, you know, while no allied champions are nearby, you gain 10 armor and magic resist, right? Which and that the armor and magic resist you get scales off level, right? And attack steal 20% increased damage to turrets. Nearby large minions gain like 30 armor, magic resist, and 200% increased damage to turrets. So it's really to let you like
Hey, it's
just be a
forward
menace in the
Admiral
sideline,
Major
right?
Kled.
No, the
I got
armor
a
that
Mr.
you're seeing
Cynthia.
is very low on it, right? It's 10. I want to show you guys something. Let me see. Shift Y. Okay. Oh, it's 10 right now. It's 10. Okay,
Don't need a plan.
this
Long as I
is
got this
starting to look
axe.
bugged. I don't know. Okay, so hold up. I don't know why it's not showing the right amount. Or am I tripping? Oh, wait, sorry. Okay. Now I don't know why it wasn't like I guess those levels you still gonna only get 10, but Hullbreaker, right? Let me break it down, right? Hullbreaker starts giving you like more armor and magic resist, like a lot, like at level like 13 and onwards, right? So you don't want to build this item early because it won't give you the armor and magic resist you're looking for. But once you get like level 13 and onwards, start giving a good amount. Because they did that change a while back to make it so that you didn't build this, rush this item like first item. Because when you used to could just rush this item first item and then you're chilling. But now they made it different. Okay, sorry. Okay, all right. So and Hullbreaker spots, right, is for, as I said, split pushing, right? It's somebody that you can win 1v1 against and be a menace in the side lane. And also,
Shut your hole, you dumb
all
lizard.
right, let's say grouping isn't a win con. Let's say the enemy team has Kog'Maw, Lulu, bro. You know you're not winning team fights. Most likely. Unless you have like a different some kind of combo on your team that really shuts them down, right? But you're not really gonna win team fights, right? Instead of like grouping, right? And let's say against like a Ornn or a tank, a tank in general, right? Because all tanks are like usually good at team fights. So the tank is more useful than you in a team fight, right? He wants a team fight. He picked the tank to team fight. So if he did that, right, then why let him team fight? Why give him that opportunity? Go side lane, start be a menace inside lane, start split pushing, running through these turrets. And you also have demolish, right? So you'll be able to really get some damage done. Now, so yeah, that's a hull breaker angle, right? And remember, a hull breaker. Okay, now it looks. How this thing looks. Okay, in the shop, you can see it scales from 10 to 75, right? Yeah, you would have to go on the wiki if you want to see like each level precisely, but yeah. Um, but yeah, if you're gonna be grouping though, don't build this item obviously because the armor and magic resist you gain it will not be there. Like you will lose it. Literally, you will lose it. So don't want to build this item if you're if you're grouping. Other like items out there though, Silver Mirror Dawn. Don't forget this item. It's good. You're not gonna build this in like 99% of your games though, you know. But remember it exists, right? It does give out 80 health. It's QSS. Just remember it exists, guys. The QSS, and it's good. It gives good stats. Um, just remember it exists, bro. If you're against like Malzar, that's perma ulting you, bro. Although that really shouldn't be an issue for you because you have your ulti or Skarner, you know, but it exists. Just to let you guys know. Oh yeah. Okay, so we got some other items here, bro. Remember, we got assassin items here. I think Prowler's Claw is being buffed next patch. It's gonna have 18 lethality. Um, Not bad. It's good if you're doing like a burst build. Like if you go like these two items and you feel very bursty, like you feel like just burst people because they have very squishy champions, right? Squishy meaning low on armor, right? So Paradise Claw is not too bad. Edge of Knight also is a decent item. It's very good for it's very good at like if they have a very annoying spell. Let's say for example, I give you a good example right now. If you're against Vayne, the only way she can proc this is by Eing you, and her E is a condemn, right? So that pushes you back. So it's really good if you build this against her. So you can have an idea of like, okay, cool. Serpent's Fang is also very good against comps with a lot of shielding and stuff. If you don't have any other people like building on your team, um like you don't have a talent, you know, like if you have a talent, you probably don't need to build it. But like if you're the only person that really can like get this item, you should get it against like a team comp with Karma, Ivern, um, Sona. It's really good. Like it will take like it's reducing the shield by 50% because the melee champion 50. Like imagine that. Like imagine a shield. Somebody shields themselves for like 300, 200. Okay, you cutting the shield in half is literally doing extra. Like cutting a 200 HP shield is literally you doing 100 damage for free. So you gotta think about it like that. And then when you see the numbers, you'll know. When you see the numbers, you
Shh.
know. Fuck.
Them brain weasels
I think
probably
the
listening for
server.
us.
I think they're doing maintenance on this. On the server. So you see, or maybe I AFK for too long. I can just reconnect. It's all right. If wait, let me see the time. Oh yeah, the server is down. Oh yeah. I still can go to the shop, right? Cool, cool. All right, let's get this. Oh yeah, there's also another build I wanted to go through, bro. But the thing is, you're not gonna really do this, bro, until like these items get some real buffs, which is Gore Drinker. Uh, Not very nice item to build nowadays on Kled because it doesn't. Like, you're doing no damage with this build. But I just want to put it in as head in terms of like how like items work. So you got Gore Drinker, right? Gives 300 health. And then let's say you build like Sterak's with it. And Sterak's shield scales with bonus health. So it's like, because this gives 300 health, right? And this gives 400. The shield that Sterak's going to give is going to be huge. So like combining these two items is nice. But probably though you'd build Black Cleaver second though into Sterak's. And Black Cleaver gets 400 health. So like you build these three items, you're getting a lot of health. You look, it's like a Renekton build, like the meta Renekton build right now. It's basically like that. So it's like all these HP that you're building feeds into Starak Shield when you're playing for Staraks. You're also buffing this next patch, so who knows? Maybe we'll look into it. And then you pair it up with like Death Stance. I already explained why Death Stance when you build Death Stance, right? Because of shield, healer like enchanter supports, right? Or or teammates, whatever. So it feels good like combining them all. Alright, cool. But you're not really gonna do this, it's just to let you know that build is something that is a combo, but you're probably not gonna do it because you really wanna go like Ravenous, get as much AD as possible and try to carry. Like going Gore misses, like you miss out on so much AD. Right? Okay, cool. I think that's mostly it though. Tank items, oh, stone plate also viable and Kled, but it's very situational. can build this if um you have a like the shield scales off HP, right? So it's the same thing with Serac. So make sure you have HP if you're gonna build this item. Like though if you don't have cleaver, I guess you won't be building this item. And generally speaking, you're not gonna build this item. Like the other items you'll probably do, right? But this is more like a very niche, like 6 item like spot where like they have so like a lot of armor magic resistance. You don't need to build more damage. But generally speaking, not gonna build it, so I don't really want to get too much into it. You're really not gonna like use this item very much. With that gore build though that I just talked about, then probably it would build it more often. But really and truly not gonna really do that. Another item that is good here though is chains. It's very, very situational. But the reason why you'd build this is, let's say you're losing against a Jax and he's gonna split push hard. You can actually just build this and try to nullify him and try to hold. I'm just like letting you guys know that something can do if like enemy is hard split pushing and you can't really 1v1 them and you're a liability to the team because of things that happened in the laning phase, or your jungler ignored your lane or griefed you or you get camped. It's very situational though. You won't be using this very often, right? Less than 1% against, but it is something that you can do against you know some champions. Also, it reduce what it does though is reduce damage you take from the target by 30%, whoever you bind, and it does reduce your tenacity as well. Um, please note that this won't stop true damage, so this won't work against Fiora. I have Fiora permaban, so I mean I'll never see her, but like it won't work against champions that do true damage. So champions that do like champions like Jax, it's really good against. Alright, cool. I think that's it for those things. Also, there is something else I really want to talk about is the certain matchups, right? So certain champions, right, instead of doing the Ravenous and Eclipse early, you can, instead of rushing Ravenous, right? Oh, I can't sell because the server is down. But you can rush Black Cleaver. Yes, you just rush Black Cleaver. Now I'm gonna show you guys a graph, right, that I just made like 2 hours ago, and just to let you guys understand like like how much damage you do to a target based off like how much armor or how much armor they have, right? So let's dive into it. So also so here it shows, right, short trade Black Cleaver. So this is for like short trade, right? And a short trade right here is just QWE, like 4 autos from your W and your double dash with E, right? Cool. So against our target 70 armor, 100 armor, 150, you can see the damage here. So let's compare to Ravenous Hydra, right? When you're doing the short trade, like whichever item you're rushing here. So you can see that Ravenous does more against the low armor target, and then at 100 it becomes like very close, like 1 damage off, right? And then onwards you start seeing that the cleaver is doing like um no, sorry. I mean that here the Ravenous is gonna be doing more for the short trades, right? Still, even though they have like a lot more damage, until they have like 250 though, that's when you'll see that Ravenous starts losing on damage in a short trade, right? Now for the more like an extended trade, right? So I put long trade here. This is the same combo, right? But after the combo, after the initial combo, right, that you do for short trade, you just sit there and do like 4 auto attacks, right? That's the test I did, right? Um, Here you can see that Black Cleaver against a target with low armor, right? Because this is about what a target that isn't really building armor will have, like a squishier champion, like a mid laner or ADC or support. They have lower too, by the time you have your first item. But so yeah. So here you can see that Ravenous will do more in long trade. Cool. Here Ravenous starts doing less in the long trade. And then even at 150 and 250, you see it starts doing less and less. So this is a long trade. And obviously in game, right, if you're fighting a tank, right, you're gonna be doing more than 4 autos, but it's just to get the idea of like how much damage you're doing at each stage, um, relative to the armor. So you guys can understand why we like Ravenous is usually rushed and when you can rush Cleaver. Cool. So you guys can have a better understanding of how much damage you're really doing against, the people with different levels of armor, whatever. Anyways, cool. Next thing is short trade, Ravenous Hydra plus Cleaver, right? And versus Eclipse. So with Cleaver here against low armor, it's you see how much damage it's doing here. 1, 5, 3, 2. And with Eclipse, Eclipse is gonna be doing a lot more in a short trade once you have 2 items, right? And once you get there, have 100 armor though, right? It's still Eclipse is doing more. So you see, like even if you have a 100 armor, you're still doing more. And this is a target that is like a bruiser that build taps, really. Yeah. And once you get 150 though, right? Let's say they build like an armor item. Let's say Darius build Death Stance, or the tank you're playing against have their first item rush, and they don't have any more armor or items. This is what they'll be looking like. And yeah, so you start seeing that Eclipses start doing a little less damage, and then once they get to 250, it's even less. And for long trades, however, though, the damage does come out very um like you can see the big difference here. So you're doing like 100 more damage with this combo, right? And 100 damage can mean lethal or not, for when you're fighting like a squishier champion. Cool. And yeah, so for the rest of the armor levels though, you can see here that Eclipse is well Ravenous plus Eclipse, right, starts doing less once they have 100 armor and so forth. So the only time like Ravenous Eclipse is really doing damage is when they have like, you know, like a low amount of armor. Like it will do more. So it's just to get a better understanding of how much damage you're doing with these stuff. I know this video has been long. If you're watching to this point, really appreciate that. Um, I'm just trying to let you guys, because this video has been requested, like kind of highly requested. Oh shit, I have the in queue on screen. My bad. But yeah, yeah, it's just this video has been requested, right? Because I know a lot of people out there just see all these different Kled builds and they just don't know like why you're building which item. And the whole point of this video is to let you understand why you're building what. To give you a better understanding so that in your games, right, you can probably start to, like think more about your build. Like you adapt. You see the enemy team has 4 AP champions. don't build death stance. Don't build GA. Build more. Or if you see that grouping is not a thing for your team comp, build Hullbreaker, split push. So yeah, just to let you guys see that and understand it. But if you have any questions though, please leave in the comments. Um, I'll answer everything. I promise. Yeah, this video is 40 minutes. Damn. Okay. But yeah. Uh, yeah. Make sure to like, share, subscribe if you enjoy the video. I realize a lot of people are watching the videos. I did the checks. A lot of people are watching the videos, but not subscribed. So please do that, if you remember to. All right. Well, yeah, do it now. Yeah, whatever. All right. Peace.